PlayStation believes in great games.
PlayStation.
Hello and good day to you, my beautiful friends. I do hope you are well. Welcome to episode 29 of Cross Button VR, a beginner's journey into PS VR2, a show for those who want to share in our newcomers' enthusiasm for the world of VR. Now, I'm your host, Laurie, but for anyone that hasn't really been paying attention yet, I just want to let you know that we are part of the Cross Players, so please do check out the rest of all our content and our Discord over at thecrossplayers.com. It really is quite special. Now, it is an honour to be joined by two of the most intelligent influencers in the metaverse. It's Ben and Alex. Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello.
Yeah,
Where's
you
the
are.
insult? That
you are.
That was nice.
It's a trick.
You are
Yeah.
both intelligent men. Alex, you especially.
What the fuck does that mean?
He's a smart man.
You don't
He's a
know
smart
me.
man. I do. I mean, Alex is almost maybe Alex is too clever, even too clever by half. Some might say that guy.
Yes.
He's
Don't know
too
about
clever for
that.
his own good. That one.
I'm not
Some
having
people
this.
say. No, not to take anything away from you there, Ben. You're a smart man as well, but Alex just seems like he's got a very professional job. Whenever I hear what he's talking about in his job and stuff, it just kind of sounds very.
You know what?
How have you been, both? We've had a couple of filler episodes filling in, which we dutifully recorded. Did you have a good break, Ben?
I had a lovely break. I've missed these insults greatly.
You're intelligent. Maybe
I
not
have
as
missed you both.
intelligent.
I've
Yeah.
been sitting here on a Friday night on my own, going, "Where's Ben and Laurie?"
I've missed doing this as much as I've loved being on holiday. It has when I was listening back to podcasts and stuff because I'm a saddo. I listen to our own podcast.
Of course you do.
It just made me go, oh, miss him. But
Mm,
then I remember what Laurie's like, and all of that goes out the window.
the cheeky scamp lorry. It's very hot today and this evening when we are recording this. So, yeah, apologies for everyone watching on the on the YouTube version of this, and we will have a nice sweaty sheen applied
Yeah.
to our foreheads. Yeah, it's quite warm, isn't it? Quite
Yeah,
warm at
just
the
a
moment.
tad.
It is.
It's certainly
Scorching
not
out.
weather for VR.
No.
Yeah, not the sort of weather you want to do that buddy combat.
No.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, what we're going to be talking about today? Yeah, we've got news. Quite a lot's happened actually, because we didn't record for the last few weeks, so we did say before we went off, anything happens, any big news drops. Luckily, there still isn't Astrobot, although maybe there's some rumours of some Astrobot trademarks being renewed. But other than that, there's been no huge revelations. But what there have been literally millions of release date confirmations and new game announcements, and just games just appearing out of the blue and then getting a release date straight away. So, God, we've got loads to go through tonight. We're going to have kind of a wrap up of everything that's been revealed and stuff in the last couple of weeks, and we'll just kind of go through them all. There are many of them, though, so we may not give full thoughts on all of them, but I'm sure we'll talk about them all again as they come round. So we'll talk about that. And then, whilst also we've been away, we've had the releases of two very big, quite significant games in Crossfire, Sierra Squad, and Firewall Ultra. So our topic of the show will be to discuss and mull over those two. And I don't think we're in a position to review either of them yet. We've all played and had some first impressions of them. So we'll be digging into that and looking at some of the reviews and stuff they've been getting before we review them in future episodes. Sound good to you both?
It does, Laurie.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Well, Alex, as the person who was not on holiday for the last 2 weeks, you have been dutifully keeping track of all of these things. So I'm just going to pass over to you now. Go.
Okay. Where will I start? I tried my best to keep a list of everything that was announced in terms of release dates as you went, and I got lost because there was so many. So I thought, rather than try and pick out the ones that actually got confirmed, we'd just go through and have a look at everything that's coming over the next. Well, everything we now have a release date for, because there was probably only a few that we had before you went, and there has been literally dozens of release dates, one after the other. So
See that Ben is a smart man. All credits, yeah. All credits, you, Alex. Right, so yeah.
Going to probably quickly touch on a few things that have kind of came and went since you guys went away. So we had A Fisherman's Tale, which was announced and released basically at the same time, which was nice. So that came out at the end of August. As did the update for No Man's Sky, which probably has been quite big news. I feel like that has made fairly big waves since it got its 480 rendering update, and people seem incredibly impressed now with that game.
It seems
which is
like
good
it's
to
made
see.
a massive difference, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
I've never played that game. I really want to jump into it now because people have said it's an absolute revelation now playing that game.
Yeah.
So.
Space exploration, though. Overrated, isn't it? Tune into Crosscast for more of that sort of banter.
Leave me alone. Moving on to September. So we also had the announcement that B99 Overclocked was released in the EU. It had already been out in America from, I think, late July, but it hadn't had over here, so that's now out. We have TOS, which has just come out the 7th, but we had that release date, so that's now out. We then got a release date for Pixel Ripped 1995, so they'd announced after they brought out 1978, 9, 8, 8, that they were going to upgrade 1995, so that's now coming September 12th, and that's a free upgrade for anyone that owns PSVR2. PSVR1 version, sorry, which is always nice.
Cool.
We then move on to what I'm now classing as PSVR2 Day, because you've got all on September the 14th. We have Gazlers, Crisis Brigade 2, Alvo, Behind the Frame, Down and Out, and the update for C-Smash VRS, or the August update for C-Smash VRS, which is...
That's all in one day.
That's all one day. One single day.
What a day.
Christ.
Yeah, so quite a lot coming then. We then have U Calligraphy, which has just kind of appeared out of nowhere. It seems like a little VR game that teaches you how to do calligraphy. It seems very nice.
Awesome.
The next few we knew about, so we've got Broken Edge and Ruins Magus coming September 19th. Hellseeper VR is 21st, and there's been quite a bit of news about that since you guys were away. So a few new trailers, co-op stuff that looks good. I think that's probably that feels like the next kind of big one that's going to hit coming on the radar.
Right.
It's a Ben game, very much a Ben game. I think you're like that, Ben.
Yeah, it looks it.
Yeah. Then September 20... Oh, sorry, on you go.
No, carry on.
I was going to say, September 27th, we then have Paper Beast, which was a PSVR1 title that was announced to be coming to PS5 and PSVR2. I don't think there was a flat version of that on PS4, so I think this might be the first time it's been available as a flat and a VR version.
Interesting.
So that's quite highly regarded, so it's good to get that one. There's been no confirmation, as far as I'm aware, whether there's going to be a free upgrade for that or not. And then finally, kind of rounding out September... we've got Border Bots VR, which is one that had been announced. We'd seen the trailer for that, so we've now got the release date September 28th for that one, and that's a Team 17 game that is basically little robots kind of scanning the border and a little bit of narrative, a little bit of puzzle. Looks quite fun. So that's September.
Is that like Papers, Please, isn't it? But with robots. Is that what? Yeah. Is it? How do we want to do this, Laurie? Structure-wise, do we want to like go over September, comment on them first, and then go on to October to give Alex a break?
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, what's there stands out for you guys there? What's your highlight there?
Quite a few. I mean, B99, I'll definitely be having some thoughts on that in upcoming episodes.
99 thoughts, I hope.
Well, am I capable
but
of that
review
many?
ain't one.
Okay. He's the intelligent one. Then, yes, that one stands out to me. I watched Games with T stream a bit of TOS the other night.
Games with T, good friend of the show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And looks good, but looks tricky.
So I've played the first world, and it's incredibly addictive. Really uses the leaderboards incredibly well. So you know that leaderboard function, like in Astrobot, where it tells you someone's beat your score. It tells you if you beat a high score. Really good at that.
What, so you get like a push notification?
Yeah.
To say, oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
That is dangerous.
Which is good. So you turn it on and you get these notifications to say such and such has beat your score. And you're like, oh, have you now? Let's see about that. And then you go. But I think it seems quite simple, but I found it quite hard to master. I think there's probably a knack to it, but unfortunately, I did manage to injure my shoulder while playing it, so I haven't been able to lift my arm over my head since Monday.
You're still in pain.
I'm still in pain from it. Yeah.
It was definitely this game.
It was definitely this game. I don't think the game itself hurt me. I think I've aggravated an old injury, but it was quite amusing, and I've been having the piss ripped out of me by my husband ever since.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but I think this game's got potential to like really grab and capture the imagination. It's one that's quite simple, but gets quite difficult as you go on. In terms of the courses at first are just like get from there to there as fast as you can, but then they bring in more and more obstacles like spikes and stuff, different bits you need to climb, making it more complex. But it's still a case of get there as fast as you can. You've got 3 objectives. One is collect all the objects as you go, one is to get under a certain amount of time, and one is just to finish it. So you've got 3 different objectives for each level.
Because when I was watching him play, it looked like, I think he said he was like, trying to go for all the trophies. So basically trying to do it in the quickest time possible, swinging from like the yellow bars.
Yeah.
But can you just climb across?
You can only
to finish the
level. You can't touch anything with the blue. So the blues you can't. So it's only the yellow and the walls I think you can touch. But the blue stuff, there's only certain things you can grab onto.
Cool. Yeah, I know we said it when it was first announced, but it's got kind of Fall Guys vibe to it, isn't it? Like that colourful, cartoonish look. So yeah, I'd be tempted to give that a swing as well.
Nice. So what else there? I mean, obviously Paper Beast, I'm very keen to play that one. That looks very good. We've just behind the frame, we've got code for that, so I'll be playing that the next few days. That looks very nice, and also very, very short as well, which suits me to a T. So I should be playing that.
Put yourself down.
Yep.
You meant short as in length, sorry.
Yeah. It looks like a nice chill game. Nice bit of kind of painting, storytelling type thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
That looks
good.
Nice.
Well, just going back to Paper Beast, I assume have you guys got that from previous? I think it was given away for free, wasn't it?
It was. I think it was one of like the Days of Play or something games at some point.
I think that's in my library. It might be.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing it in mine. So hopefully it's a free upgrade and we can jump on that, because it looks gorgeous. It's another one I'm very interested in. Yes. What else?
Gazzlers.
I should say just going back.
Fun.
You just talked about TOS there. I'll just quickly pick up on going back to August, if I may. A Fisherman's Tale. I've done the first couple of chapters of that, and as obviously a well-known fan of another Fisherman's Tale, I was very keen to get into A Fisherman's Tale, and I'm pleased it is very charming and great fun, and it's got a completely different mechanics. It's very different. I think it's much, much shorter than another Fisherman's Tale. It's a much more simplistic game. But I've just played the first couple of chapters of that. I'm very much enjoying it. I'll talk about it more and review it properly, I think, in a future week.
It's quite nice what Vertigo have done with that as well, because you can, if you own the another Fisherman's Tale, you got a discount on a Fisherman's Tale. I think if you owned a Fisherman's Tale, there was a discount to upgrade it. And there was also then a package to get the two together and stuff. So like they basically give you loads of different options for upgrade or buying it, which was nice to see.
Classy.
Yeah, and I know just on the strength of another Fisherman's Tale and just starting this game, I can very much recommend people buy the bundle of both of them. Start with a Fisherman's Tale and then play another Fisherman's Tale. I think they're excellent games.
I don't suppose we know the price for the bundle.
I'm not sure.
Roughly. No biggie. Ruins Magus is that other one that's on September the 19th. I know we spoke about that a couple of weeks ago as well. That looks cool.
Yeah.
An RPG in VR. I will definitely give that a go. 100%.
I want one of you guys to give Healthy Per VR a go because it's got co-op. And I'd quite like to play co-op.
Well, I think that looks like a me game.
It does look like it was a roguelike.
It's a roguelike for a start, so as soon as you see roguelike, you think, well, that's got to be Ben.
But the action and the combat looks really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Telekinesis as well. Love a bit of that.
Looks like fun. And I suppose just the other... I do like the look of Gazzlers. I think we've spoken about that before. Again, it's another roguelite, I think, but a more cartoony one.
Just love my stupid name.
I know, but it's quite a funny name. I quite like it. It's quite good. But Sea Smash feels like it might be finally like a full game. I know that's been our main criticism.
It sounds like this update is all the things that you said you wanted when we first reviewed it properly and talked about it in that episode. And you said, I want this sort of thing, and I want that sort of thing. It sounds like when this update drops, it will finally be the full package that you've been waiting for.
Yeah, so and everything that we've asked for.
Top of all of the leaderboards within the week, Alex.
I still don't think it actually has leaderboards.
What? No, okay, so still not quite there.
No.
But we all know if you want Alex to platinum your game and not shut up about it.
But a leaderboard on there. But it does, well, I can't say for certain, but the UI stats and stuff looks more like your personal stats. It doesn't seem to be a leaderboard as such. But there is a lot coming with the co-op mode, the infinity mode, the AI versus like the AI opponents and stuff, new types of blocks, basically a lot of content coming this time, so we'll see how that plays out. It'd be nice to see people playing it again, because as we said when we kind of done our top 10, top 15 episode, it's a good game. I think it just felt like it was missing some features.
Yeah, if they've bulked it out a bit, then I think that would be a good time to jump back in and give it another crack, because there was always something there, right? The presentation of it was so slick. Everything else looks like a first party game, so if they've got the content to back it up as well, happy days.
And
as much as Jörg hates the word content. Yeah. Sorry, Jörg, if you listen.
Co-op. Let's do co-op.
Yeah, speaking of Sea Smash, just to give a shout out to Lost in Cult Records, who are releasing the soundtrack on LP, and they're doing an event for that at Rough Trade Records on Friday the 15th in London, which is free. So anyone listening to this that lives in London, wants to get down there on Friday the 15th, should be good. And if you like Sea Smash, get down there. Imagine you'll see York. They'll be there.
We should go, Laurie.
Yeah, could do.
You could.
It's an option.
No.
I'll check my diary.
Yeah, not a big Uncle fan, are you? We've established.
Think it's dialogue. I think you're okay.
Maybe I'll have to. We'll talk about it off air, Ben. It's Friday's never handy for me. It's my day with the kids, but we shall see.
Presumably, it would be at night.
Presumably,
but then we do this. This is far more important.
Yeah,
on a Friday.
We
do a live one. Oh my god! Live from Rough Trade Records.
We'll get York back on just to annoy that guy that reviewed that time. Good. Yeah. So anyway, September, big month for PS VR2 releases.
So
the biggest.
October at the minute not quite as big, but I expect us probably to fill out given the way we're going. So we've got Walks of the Wizard, which was announced in the PlayStation blog the other day, October 3rd. 7th Guest VR, October 19th. Tennis on Court, October 20th, and Vertigo 2, October 24th. So we already knew two of those. I think the 7th Guest got its official date, and then Walks of the Wizard was just announced this week. So another.
That looks really good, by the way.
Yeah, it does.
I think Waltz of the Wizard looks decent. Not sure about the combat part of it, but the rest of it I thought looked really cool.
7th Guest, I'm really looking forward to. The more I'm seeing of that game and being such a remake of such like an old game, and the idea of it and the setting, it just feels like that could be something quite special. It just seems to be showing really well, presenting really well. So if it plays as well as it's showing, I think that'll be really good. I do like that kind of. We've all kind of liked that kind of puzzle type game, like the room and stuff. It feels like it could be a little bit like that. Maybe not.
Yeah, it just seems a bit like a murder mystery.
Yeah,
murder mystery type thing as well. It's by Vertigo Games, and their track record of everything I've played of theirs so far is very good. So.
Yeah, you know it's going to be solid. That's the one that's a remake from a really old game, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like a CDI game or something.
Oh God.
Yes, really.
That's going back.
Mm-hmm.
I think Waltz of the Wizard and Vertigo 2 are both very well regarded Quest games that have been out, or PC VR games anyway. So I think they're going to be two that are quite noteworthy ports that people should be looking forward to.
Yep. November, the only one we've got confirmed at the minute, as far as I'm aware, is Vampire the Masquerade Justice, which was given a date of November 2nd, which feels like quite a nice date for that. It's been shown quite a bit at PAX and stuff, and at Gamescom, I think, and it's been getting a really good reception. I've seen people having a kind of almost kind of comparing it, giving it Bethesda. No,
Dishonored.
The one Dishonored. Yeah, giving it kind of Dishonored vibes and stuff. So this looks good. I think this will land well.
Is this the one where you can bite people?
I think so.
You're a vampire, so
You're
probably. You got to think about biting people, Ben.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm a freak.
Cool. This looks like quite a next big polished, high-profile game for people that want those kind of big high-profile AA. Maybe AAA, not AAA, but AA game.
AA, yeah, because there's been quite a few of the Vampire the Masquerade games that have went down quite well over the last couple of years. So it's kind of next in the series, and hopefully it delivers.
Cool.
And then last one, which we've currently got a date for, is Bulletstorm VR. So I can't remember if we got the date for this before you guys went away or not, but this is the only one currently set in December 14th. And again, it's that kind of bullet hell fun type first person game, which from a kind of historic franchise, which again I think is going to be a lot of fun. So nice Christmas game. Shoot the hell out of lots.
So Christmassy.
Yeah, and so, well, we can talk more about that, but just looking back on each month there, I mean, August had Firewall Ultra, which we'll talk about in a minute, but a big release in that. September, you've got kind of Hellsweeper VR, Paper Beast is kind of quite sort of carrying the torch there. October, you've got Vertigo 2, Waltz of the Wizard. November's got Vampire Masquerade. December's got Bulletstorm. It seems like every month there is a decent release there that's going to be quite noteworthy, and there will be loads of other smaller stuff that will just come out that we don't even know about yet.
Yeah, because I've done a little list of what we know's supposed to be coming this year and we still don't have dates for. So we've got Madison VR, which have said Halloween season, so that's going to be some point in October, and that looks terrifying. We've got Phasmophobia, which was supposed to be August and now they moved out to November. Behemoth was supposed to be 2023, whether that ends up being 2023.
That's not coming out this year.
Nah. Journey to the Foundation is still saying 2023, and that's been demoed, and some demos coming out. It looks pretty good for that.
Series 2 of Foundation on Apple TV, by the way, for anyone who's interested in that. It's very, very good. Very good, very good TV.
Also then the Foglands, which they're still saying 2023. There's been quite a bit of noise about that on Twitter and stuff. Lo-Fi was always said 2023. I'm not so sure now, because I feel like it's very, very quiet. They said some point in 2023 when it's ready, and I think it might just get into 2024.
I think that'll slip,
Yeah. Cactus Cowboy Desert Warfare is coming in 2023, and that looks like it could be another fun shooter. This is the kind of, there was almost like a demo, a free game on there, and it's quite cartoony shooter with a bit of character, and that is definitely coming. Happy Funland is 2023. Racket Fury's been announced, supposed to be 2023. Ven VR, I think they said, was 2023. That was a little platformer one. And Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord was an End Dreams game. Again, was supposed to be 2023 as far as I'm aware. But I know they've been showing that off at PAX and stuff, so that might make the end of the year. And then Arizona Sunshine 2, which there's been previews of this week. I think they've kind of, a lot of the content creators and stuff were out in Rotterdam to get a shot of that and seemed to be quite impressed. That looks good, and I'd imagine we'll probably get a release date fairly soon.
Shame we were all busy for that, wasn't it? We had to decline our invites, didn't we, guys?
Yeah, just prior commitments, wasn't it? Really, in the end.
Yeah, I can't be making it out to Rotterdam just to see some game. Just we'll get around to it.
Sorry, guys. Next time you invite us, we'll come definitely.
Yeah.
So a lot of games,
loads of games, and I feel like by the time we get to February and it'll be like, right, it's 1 year anniversary, there's going to be so many games that would have come out in that first year, and I just can't believe the shit that Sony get for like,
we're having no games.
Hopefully, sending this thing out to die, and it's just like there's just so many games you could play on this thing.
Because there was a thing came out today. I can't remember who wrote the article, but there's now 101 games on the PS VR2 games on PlayStation, which given we're 7 months, 101 games. That is it.
Certainly, like, they're filling up the roster with the same quality that you can get on Quest, basically, aren't they?
Yeah, it just needs that.
What we need to see is the the extra stuff above that.
Yeah, why not just buy a Quest, is what someone would say. And then you say, good point. You probably should just get a Quest until Sony at the moment, if they are not going to highlight what it is that what they're making. We must be getting close to the point, though, because once Spider-Man comes out, we will have literally seen nothing that Sony are making, VR, non-VR, at all beyond that. And that comes out next month, doesn't it? It comes out next month.
Yeah.
We know they're making Wolverine. We haven't seen that beyond a CGI teaser thing. So we don't know anything else that they're making, any of their studios. So
other than
I'm sure there will be a big reveal of some stuff soon, and there'll surely be some VR stuff in there as well. Yeah.
Well, there is rumours of state of play around Tokyo Game Show times in the next couple of weeks to focus on kind of Japanese side of things. And I mean, Team Asobi are Japanese.
Very Japanese, they are. Very Japanese.
And there was a trademark renewed, so are we finally getting that port at least in the next couple of weeks? Fingers crossed.
That would be lovely. That would be a really strong way to end out the year.
To take that into Christmas. I think that's ideal.
Yeah. But I think, okay, there's a lot of stuff, most of the stuff is on Quest already, but if you don't have a Quest, if you're a PlayStation gamer, there is now a pretty significant chunk of the library that you need PS VR2 to be able to play. And if you're just someone that wants to just play your big games, 2 or 3 tentpole games throughout the year, then you could probably think, I don't need that. But if you're someone that's looking for these interesting, so much stuff on there that is different to what you'll find on non-VR, I think it's probably getting to the point where more and more people are finding it harder to ignore. It just needs now that reassurance and that push from Sony just to say, that we are going to support it and here's what's coming.
Yeah, and even if that is, here's all of our PS5 games for 2024, and these 2 happen to have a VR mode, I'd be pretty happy with that. Like, I think that's, like, go the Capcom route, go the GT7 route, and just add a VR mode. Get those support studios to produce a version of a game that's in VR. Happy days.
Yeah, you haven't got on this list Resident Evil 4 remake in VR as well, which may be this year, may not be, but that's something else.
Hopefully we'll find. It's another thing I think we find out at Tokyo Game Show, because it is confirmed to be at Tokyo Game Show, yes. So hopefully we'll get something there.
Cool. One game each from that whole list that Alex has just been through.
I genuinely don't think I could pick one.
Well, I'm just asking you to pick one game.
The calligraphy one.
Alex is going for Down and Out.
Alex, that is definitely a bit of you, isn't it? Down and Out.
I'm a Down and Out, I'd probably...
Yeah.
If I had to go to a 7th guest VR, I don't know. Like, I'm taking 2, right? Probably more in there just because I can't... There's too many to even just think.
Hellsweeper is another one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Waltz of the Wizard. That's decent. Ruins Major. Yeah. It's very hard to pick one, Laurie. You pick one and then come back to us.
Paper Beast.
See, he makes it seem so simple, doesn't he?
Because he had his answer before he had to quit. Before he asked to quit.
No, it doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong answer. You're not going to get. No one cares. Just say what I don't care. Moving on. No, any other final thoughts on this list of games before we move on?
Crisis Brigade 2.
Oh, yeah, that's one.
Yep.
That does look good. Because it's just basic Time Crisis, essentially.
Yeah.
Basic Time.
I'm all for just a simple shooting game, arcadey. Bosh.
Bosh. Good. Well, we got there in the end. Thank you both, and thanks Alex for being so diligent with keeping up with all of those release dates and things. Yeah, great. Before we get to the main part of the show, let's just say to everyone, if they want to support us, please give this podcast a sub on the service you are using, and if you could please do leave us a review, that would be good too. Find us on Twitter at CrossButtonVR, also and at the Cross Players. And if you really want to show the love, you can join our Patreon, £2 a month, patreon.com/thecrossplayers. You can help us produce the show and gain entry into our lovely WhatsApp group. So if you're listening and you think, what is this WhatsApp group? It really is. People join it. The Phils, they've joined it. The VR Phils. And it's great having them on board. So anyone else that wants to get involved with the fun, it really is where friendships are Well, they are something.
Yeah, and we do have a couple of little for the next couple of people who maybe sign up to Patreon. We might have a couple of gifts that we can put your way.
Oh,
yeah. Not that we're trying to bribe people, but yeah, if you want to get a game on the very, very cheap way of getting a VR game, just join our Patreon, and you might find yourself in with something nice, or maybe not.
Yes.
Who knows?
Yeah. Has been going on with VR the Champions whilst we've been off. Has there been a winner on one of those?
Yeah, it's basically been Bart dominating.
Oh.
He's very, very good at these games. So he won the Gran Turismo one this week. He's very, very good at that. I can't even remember. What was the one before? What was the last one?
Pistol Whips?
Was it GT7?
No, it's Pistol Whip, wasn't it? Yeah, so Pistol Whip was a lot of fun. So that came down to the wire between me, Lewis, and Store Bart. But they were just too good for me. And I think there was literally like 600 points in it between first and second. I think Lewis was just pipped to the post. So that was a lot of fun. So,
have you told Bart that from now on it's only open to patrons?
You get a bonus 1,000 points if you're a patron just at the start.
Pay to win.
Yeah. Is there one going at the moment?
We haven't picked this week's yet, but do join our Discord and there will be something going on. It looks like it might be Walkabout Mini Golf this time. That's certainly in the running, a little 9 holes on one of the courses.
I might give that one a go.
Surely not. It's not a sweaty game though, is it?
No, it isn't.
Right, that's good.
Which is a good choice for now.
What happens if someone just gets like 9 hole-in-ones?
Then, well, if someone get 9 hole-in-ones and it's a tie break, then we have a live decider of a little 9 holes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's going to get 9 hole-in-ones, are they?
No, but...
Are they? Surely. Anyone out there listening wants to try and get 9 hole-in-ones? Pick the hardest course as well. Sorry, that doesn't happen.
Well, and that's something we probably missed from the news. There is a new Walkabout Mini Golf course. Alfheim is out now. Nice little Elvish themed course.
Have you tried it, Alex?
I haven't had a chance to play it yet. I have seen people say it's maybe a little bit not disappointing, but I think they've set such high standards with a lot of the courses it's come out. It maybe just not quite hit the heights of like Laser Lair and Upside Down and stuff, but still, you know it's always going to be good. Like, these guys know what they're doing with this stuff. They definitely do.
Yeah. Nice.
So why Sony didn't throw money at them to make it God of War Alfheim themed, I'll never know. But yeah. Cool. Well, the main thing then to talk about is there's been a pretty significant game that released whilst we came out, and then another probably not quite so high profile but equally important, and that is the shoot off between Firewall Ultra and Crossfire Sierra Squad. Now Alex and I have definitely played both. Ben, have you had a chance to play both yet?
I have not had a chance since getting back from holiday, no.
No, okay. Well, you could just be kind of asking us questions then. So, look at Firewall Ultra then. It's fair to say that did not land probably as they hoped.
No.
To put it mildly.
It's been... sorry, on you go.
No, go on.
It's been a slightly mixed bag, this release. I think the way I look at it is if they could have really done with a beta.
Yeah. God, yeah. Why? Like, games like this usually do get a beta, and this one didn't, and God, it could have done with one.
So, I think the main issues have been around matchmaking, around progression. Some of the progression modes aren't quite live yet. Some of the decisions and the design choices in the game, people are a bit like, why have you done it like that? But I think because all those things have kind of compounded on the game, I think if it was just the design choices, people would have got used to it. But I think if it's been a combination of that and people struggling to get into the games, and then some of the other bits and pieces, it's not been great.
Yeah, and that's my experience of it. I've did the tutorial, which even that I found so even before we get to the matchmaking side of things, just the tutorial side of it, I found a real it's so awkward to play, just doing basic things, because you have to hold your hands in a kind of way you're holding the gun, and it has to be just right. And if it's not, it just waves around all over the place, and it's really awkward just aiming at things. And if you want to sort of zoom down the sights, you have to kind of hold your controller up to your face, and then it will zoom down it, but only if you're pressing both buttons, the R1 buttons, and it's just really, all of it's so awkward. And even then when I'm zooming down it's so, I'm really having to sort of fight it to get to where I want to go. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, why is this so hard? And it doesn't help that I had played, and we'll come on to talking about it a bit more in a minute, Crossfire Sierra Squad before, which is completely how you'd expect a VR gun game to work. You see a gun, you pick it up, and it all works. But Firewall, actually, you press the button, it reloads the gun manually whilst your hands are fixed still. Your VR hands are all dancing around reloading, which is just feels really unnatural. But yeah, the whole trying to look down the sights and aim at things, it just became like really uncomfortable playing it. I just could not find a comfortable way to play it. And I'm like, man, this is really big. It's got PlayStation Studios logo at the start of it. This is not the sort of quality you would expect. And the eye tracking as well, great. I love eye tracking, but in this I was trying to read things, and it was just it was not working properly. I was just trying to look at things, and again I was having to fight it to go where I was going the right way, and it was sort of giving me eye strain just trying to do it. And I was just like, oh fuck, just let me turn this off. So that, as introduction tutorials go, it was not good, to say the least. And then I thought, all right, okay, well, got through that. Let me play a game. So started again, and you're in this sort of safe house bit, and I'm trying to start a game. I'm like, how the fuck do I start a match? There's a few terminals and kiosks. I'm going around looking at them all, trying to interact with them all. Like, how do I just jump into a game? And it took me far longer than okay. And maybe I'm just really stupid, but it was not at all obvious to me. I'm interested, Alex, if you kind of just walked straight over and just pressed the button. Yeah. Maybe you did. You did. Oh, okay.
No. I think it's the same. And again, I think it's a common complaint that I don't think it's that clear in terms of what you're supposed to do there in getting started. I think this, like the onboarding in general, it's not been great, I wouldn't say.
So I did eventually work it out, and there's no like, okay, now it's loading, start the matchmaking. I realised I had pressed the right thing, and I sort of turned around and looked on the wall, and oh no, okay, I can see it there. It's looking for a match, and I've pressed something. It's now in the match. Probably waited 5-10 minutes. A second person waited. You need to get all 4 people in the room with you, and then you can jump into a game. 5 minutes, second person joined. Another few more minutes, third person joined. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I've done the tutorial. I've been pissing around in this safe house for a while. Now I've been playing this for nearly an hour and haven't even played a game yet. And I've had enough VR for the night now. I want to go to bed. And I was just like, said to the guy, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm going, mate. Good luck finding someone else. And so that was the first night playing it. Second night I played it. I did get into a game. It was, again, took about 10 minutes of waiting. I think I messaged you two whilst I was queuing. I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do in the meantime? There's nothing I think you can go, you might be able to wander off to a shooting range, but there's a limited fun in that. And you're in VR, so you can't just look at your phone whilst you're killing time for it. I'm like, the hell am I supposed to do for 10 minutes stood in this room? This is terrible. This is not what I want to be doing in my free time. Waiting for a game to start. And a game did start. So my experience of playing a game was quite fun, I would say. Playing the match was quite fun. My team, it was best out of 3, and my team won 2 of the 3. And I was unexpectedly quite good at it. I managed to probably the most effective person on the team in terms of I hacked the laptop once, and then I killed a few of the teams that were trying to get our laptop. We were defending twice and had to hack it once, so we successfully defended it, and we successfully hacked it, and that won us the match. So I was like, oh, that was quite fun. The whole thing took about 3 or 4 minutes, and then we were out back in the room. It's like, oh no, we got to wait now and get into another game. And even then, when the game finished, there was lots of kind of menus, XP filling up, looking at the spreadsheets of who did what and stuff. So yeah, just again, it was probably about half an hour. I played one game. It's like, God, can't be asked for this. Go do something else.
Does it? So when it does throw you into a game or a lobby, are you instantly in voice chat then with some random strangers?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a game that
turn off the mic. You could just mute your mic, couldn't you? But
you need just hearing other. Yeah, but when I tried playing Demio online a few weeks ago, I thought I'll give this another go. it put me in a room with some absolute strangers who knew exactly what they were supposed to be doing. And there's nothing more off-putting than that.
Yeah.
Like,
I found it quite
I
intimidating.
didn't say it. I just shut up and then just turned my PS5 off and just backed away from it. And I hate the idea of being thrown into a room, into a game like this that's really sweaty and having to talk to strangers. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, and
not a fan.
We were just discussing, does this usually take this long? Yeah, because they'd have been playing it a while, these other games on my team. They were like, yeah, it does take a while, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. And I only played a few matches, and I feel like I've not had enough time with it, but I'm just looking for, okay, I'll play the mode against bots, that might be quicker. But even that, just waiting for a team to fill up took ages. And I was just like, could I not have 4 AI teammates on my side so I could just instantly jump into a game? Because the tutorial is one thing, but I just wanted to play a few rounds offline without real humans in it, just to get a sense of what am I supposed to be doing here. Let me learn the maps, let me learn the controls in an environment, and learn what it's like shooting people, and understand how much it takes to kill someone and stuff. Just get used to playing the game.
Get your confidence up before you jump online with people who know what they're doing. That's because everything you've described so far sounds super intimidating. And
I found it intimidating, like because I don't like this type of game. But I've never been good at this type of game, so I already feel a bit apprehensive to try and
it was. I just felt like I wanted a single player mode completely offline to be able to, in the same way that Splatoon 2, there's that single player campaign that you can just play through just to get to grips with how the mechanics of it all work. That's what I really needed, because the shooting range at the start, or the safe house bit at the start, the tutorial is very limited. It doesn't really give you a chance. You're just shooting cardboard cutouts of enemies. So yeah, I just wanted to play a match for real in the real maps, just to get a sense of it all.
Can you do? I assume you can do private parties as well. Can
you? Yeah,
we could.
If
the 3 of us wanted to.
Yeah. So we could do that quite easily, and I think that side of it would work, and obviously that would speed up the matchmaking, presumably, if we could do that.
There was a bug. I think if you had 3, you were okay, but if there's 4 in your party, it didn't work or something.
What?
Yeah. I might be getting that wrong, but there was certainly something. It was something like that. That was basically, if you had a party of a certain number, it didn't work.
Now, I will say, it does feel like they are hearing these comments, and it does feel like they are in this for the long haul. Like the first game, it evolved a lot over the period. It was out and people playing it, and by the end of it, it still has, probably still has right now, quite an active player base on PSVR1. So I'm sure they will evolve this and it will get better over time. But yeah, right now it's a hard sell. Just, I want to like it and I want to play it, because when I was playing it, I was having fun. But it's just like they need to just make it much more seamless to get into, and much of a smoother game to play. Because there's no way I'm going to be putting up with that sort of matchmaking when I'm playing it. I am a limited amount of time I have spare in the evenings, and I'm buggered if I'm going to be spending 10 minutes sat there just staring in a room with nothing to do. Why am I paying for this? This is crazy. I could be doing anything else. I could be I should be sitting in a room in my own house, just not being VR, not doing anything. Sounds more pleasant. So yeah, it's a shame, but let's hope that they are going to make it better and quickly. Yeah, I mean, it's bad though when Sony have the reputation, that the perception that some people have of PSVR2, when a big significant first party push behind this game, it does release, and it's to say it's fallen flat, it's putting it mildly. It's disappointed people, I think, and it's not the killer app that people were hoping for by any stretch.
Borderline embarrassing. I feel embarrassed by proxy for PlayStation.
Yeah, it tarnishes the headset, I think.
Yeah,
given that it was such a high-profile game, and all they had to do was say, we are putting off the full release 3 months, but we are going to be on the date we said we would, with a test beta, which is going to be in alpha mode. We're going to take on board your feedback and give you loads of extra XP and credits and stuff. Because in the reviews of it, the people were saying they've been playing it for 10 hours and they still haven't reached level 2, and you need to be level 9 to even unlock things like suppressors for your gun, like basic upgrades. And you think, there's no way I'm playing this for 10 hours. And still, it's just, the whole thing just seems badly unbalanced, and it baffles me how these games release and they're in this state when there must be so many people playing them for so many hours, testers and things, and it's like things that they can then tweak very quickly after release. Like they change the matchmaking, because even once you've got to, in between games, you have that countdown of 2 minutes, and they changed it to 30 seconds. I think they've put it back up to 45 seconds. It's like, come on, guys, what are you doing here?
Shame.
Big shame.
But I hope it does get fully fixed for everyone that enjoys this sort of game. Definitely.
Yeah, and so the other big game that came out, high-profile shooter, was Crossfire Sierra Squad. Now, Alex, you and I have been playing this, and I am very pleased to say that we really liked this one, didn't we? This was a lot better.
It was. This was a lot of fun. Like, I think probably the biggest criticism that came of this one was people thought they were getting a different type of game, but people judged it too quickly, because I think the type of game that people thought they were getting is there. It just was taking a bit of time to unlock that realism mode that came further, which is what people wanted. But then they have listened to that feedback, and that mode is now open from the get-go. So if that's what people want to go in and play, they can. But me and you played this in co-op, and we just laughed, didn't we? It was basically like some big guy coming at me with a hammer, and I'm just like lying there splattered on the floor, like killing myself laughing, and have no idea what to do. And I'm like, this is fun. Yeah,
it's kind of like playing a Jason Statham movie. It's like these Expendables or something. It's so over the top and silly. It's great fun. It's not. I think people were expecting thought it was going to be like a Call of Duty type thing where you could run around the environments and things, and it's not like that. It's almost like each level is its own little shooting gallery. At least I think the later levels do get bigger and open up more, but from where we are still quite early on in the campaign, they're quite smaller environments, and you sort of move around them a little bit, but then you reach a point where you essentially it's you against waves of baddies, and you've got cover points and things and things you can hide behind and move around, but you're not exploring big open levels. You're just going along a set path. It's not on rails, but it almost could be. But that's fine. That's kind of what makes it fun, because it's in VR. It's stripping out a lot of it. You are just focusing on the shooting, and the game starts again. You're in a gun range. It's in the desert, and you've got all the guns laid out in front of you. And I played that bit for ages. I don't know about you, Alex, but I just had so much fun just picking up every gun weapon thing on the table, and you reload by just grabbing a ammo thing out of your belt and clicking it to the gun, and that's just so satisfying. And you've got all the sort of handguns, rifles. On the floor you've got shotguns, sniper rifles, you've got grenade launchers, you've got like mounted cannon things that you can use. It's just so much fun. And I know when my brother comes around, he'll just be like, he'd be happy just playing that for half hour, because just like playing with all the guns and shooting things in the target range and just firing off bazookas and stuff, it's just stupid fun. It really is.
And when you have those like small levels as well, you can jump in and maybe do 1 or 2 levels in 10-15 minutes. Like they're not like particularly long. You've got a single player campaign, you've then got a separate co-op campaign, you then get 4-player like horde modes. There's loads of content in there as well. You've got online modes. It seems. I think they've done a really good job with this, and I think some of the reception that it got was quite unfair.
Yeah, I think that, like you said, Alex, that was an expectation thing, though, wasn't it? Even when we looked at it beforehand, we were like, "Well, what's the difference between these two?" And we kind of thought they were basically the same game with a few different
they
modes.
Are not the same game.
Yeah. Well, now that we've learned that, but I think obviously some people that were expecting that are going to be disappointed. But for me, this is music to my ears. This is definitely, of all the games I've kind of had to miss out on in the last 2 or 3 weeks, this is definitely top of the list of ones I want to try. Just even as you were describing, like with Firewall, Laurie, the reloading in that, you said you just press a button, right? And then your on-screen hands do all the reloading stuff. That is missing such a trick of what's great about VR. Whereas it sounds like Crossfire, it's still simple, but it still gives you that tactile sensation of, okay, I'm putting something into this gun.
Yeah.
And, that's such an important thing. Even in, when we reload in other games and we're just like slapping our thighs or shaking our wrists or whatever it might be. That's important in VR, but just pressing a button to carry out an action on screen is not... That sounds like they missed a trick with Firewall. So this one sounds much more my speed, and it pleases me greatly to hear that you guys...
I think
would like to try it again.
And it was just the co-op missions, because you've got, I think, there's 13 single-player story missions, and I say story missions. The ones that I've done, the story is just like I have no idea what's going on in here. The setup is just hilariously awful, and just it doesn't matter though. It's not important. They say it's a story mission, but don't go into it expecting there's going to be some epically well told story. But the 2-player, I think there's 50 of those 2-player campaigns, and I think they're using the same levels as some of the single player stuff. So it does reuse some of the same levels, but it's just so funny just doing it with Alex, because you're there and I can see Alex's character, you can see his full character, and you can hear him, we're talking and stuff, and just like this big dude will just walk in. What did he have? Like a big axe or something he whacked you around the head with and stuff, and just totally just knock you to the floor, and you're like,
just ran away.
You just ran away from him, just to see him, this massive guy chasing after you and just bludgeon you with a hammer to take you out in one shot.
But
I did revive you, didn't you? I did revive you after I shot a rocket at his face and stuff. It's just all of it is just so over the top and hilarious.
When you get that rocket launcher in your hand, you're like, oh, look at this big gun, and then you fire it, like, yeah, this is fun. This is fun.
Fuck you.
Yeah, but what is that like? The power fantasy of it like? Is it how's the difficulty? How does it feel? Does
it's
it feel
got loads
like...
of options, so you can turn it right down.
Well, we turned it to easy, didn't we? Because we were playing it on normal, and this hammer dude was just taking no prisoners. It was just so yeah, we turned it down to easy just because we are not pro gamers. We just were in it for the power fantasy. So yeah, I think Ben, I would recommend for you just turning it down to easy and just chasing after the baddies with a big rocket launcher is great fun. Then I think you still did die, Alex, because you are not very good at this game. No. Even on easy, I had to revive you a few times. Not that
I'm not good at shoot. I'm not really good at shooting games. Like I've never been good at shooting games.
But even on easy, it's still a challenge to it. So it's but yeah, it's just like being in like a ridiculous 80s action movie. Is how I'd describe playing this game. Awesome. In VR. It's so fun.
I'm standing there going, Lord, how do I use a grenade? Where are my grenades? And like, you just pull the pin out. I'm like, you literally go and kill the pin.
Like a grenade.
Yeah, that is a really nice VR thing, because you keep them on your left arm, so your hand, you pick it up and then you pull out the pin and then you throw the thing. Again, not like in Firewall, where you select the grenade and then you look where you want it to go, and then you press a button and it magically goes there, and your hands do nothing.
What an odd design choice!
It's so weird. I don't understand.
I think the oddest design choice is you have to press a button to press the button. Like, so there's a button to open a door.
So there's a button in front of you that you think you can press, but
it's L1. I've never pressed L1 so much in my life. Even to open a door handle, go to door handle, hold L1 over it, and the other thing Firewall that really wound me up is you can't crouch in real life. Your head stays the same. It's really jarring. You have to press circle to crouch or something, and press one of the buttons to crouch. So if you crouch physically in real life, it doesn't do anything. Your head just stays there, and it just feels like you've been ripped out of your head, body and stuff. It's kind of quite nausea-inducing kind of way that breaks the immersion so significantly. It's just like, why have the crouch but also have physical crouch as well? It's a very, very odd design choices. You don't get any of that with Crossfire, which is much easier and more fun to play.
Cool.
So,
well, if it wasn't 30 degrees right now, I'd be tempted to suggest we all have a game. But maybe we'll wait until the weather cools down a little bit.
No chance. Yeah, good. So that's our thoughts anyway. We will all be playing more Crossfire, and I think we will probably... Well, I do really want to return to Firewall, actually. Because it has... despite all the shit we've been giving it, the polish is such there, and it's like Splatoon. When you're actually in the game, playing that game, it's fun. And I like that it's not just a deathmatch free-for-all. You are trying to sneak in and hack the computer. So the actual core gameplay mechanics, the graphics are like fantastically good as well. We should point that out on Firewall. Firewall Ultra's graphics are miles.
Are they noticeably better than Crossfire?
Yeah.
Or the graphics.
Yeah. Crossfire is kind of quite PS4-ish kind of graphics. It's quite quite low detail and quite basic environments. But you're having so much fun, you don't really pay attention to that. Apart from the guns, which are all beautifully detailed. Firewall's environments are beautiful, and the lighting is really nice. It's really making use of the OLED screens. There's lots of darkness, and your torch is really atmospheric. It looks really good, and like I say, the gameplay, to give it its credit, is really good. So I'm sure if they just keep at it and fix the matchmaking, make all that smoother, maybe look at, I don't know how they're going to fix some of the gameplay tweaks, but I think if I just played it more, the controls and that would become. You'd get over that, I think, if I could just get into playing it more. So that's all it needs, really. It's just fix the XP just so you can level up and play it a bit more, feel like you're achieving something when you play through the game, and just fix the matchmaking. And I will be keen to jump into it because I did enjoy the game I played of it. It's just right now it's just not an easy game to be able to play and get more experience in. So, and that is what I want from it. So right now I'm much more keen to jump back into Crossfire Sierra Squad and just have some silly dumb fun. Good. Wow. Well, everyone, thank you again for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love it if you could please tell all of your friends and family about us. If you want to get more involved, as I keep saying, please do jump into Discord at the very least. Get involved in our VR the Champions. Yeah, thank you for everyone that has done so already. Last but absolutely not least, huge thank you to all of our patrons for supporting the work we do. Now, I've been your host, Laurie. These two have been Ben and Alex, and we will see you again next time. Until then, it's goodbye.